for terrifying.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode, actually the first and only episode, or maybe annual episode, I don't know, of No Time for Terrifying. Joining me all the way from Paris is Kwok.
Hello.
You should have said hello, lo.
Oh, hello, Good evening.
Yes, welcome to, this is No Time for Time Travel's attempt at a Halloween episode. So yeah, hope you guys liked that special intro we had. Okay, so yeah, we are usually a podcast that, we get a topic from you guys to discuss, but because this is a Halloween episode, I figure we're going to be talking about something creepy. So we're going to go through this article from thegamer.com, and it's about like 23 video game urban legends that are too creepy for words. And yeah, you guys can Google that if you want to read more, but we will be talking about it today. So yeah. So before we get started, how you been doing?
Good. I've just been busy resolving like adult stuff, like we call it bills and stuff. I'm being charged with in Paris, and then yeah, it's just like I had to get help from my office manager because it's in French.
Bills. That's scary.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't lie. That's scary.
Yes. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but aside from that, nothing much. Just been pretty relaxed actually. Did I tell you I was in Rome last week?
No.
Or 2 weeks ago?
No, you didn't.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, so I met I had a few friends from the States. They were going to visit Italy, and they started at Rome. And I think like for the weekend, I was just like, you know what? I'll join you guys. When are you going? And it's so convenient just because it's like near Europe, so it's only like a 2-hour flight, 2.5 hour flight, and it's pretty nice. We visit some of the stuff, and like the tourist part would be always touristy, and it's horrible. But
okay.
A lot of the parts that I enjoyed was the Colosseum. That part alone was like, I think it's like the first time I'm actually had like a breathtaking experience to experiencing something like up close and personal in a way. And it's a tourist spot as well. So I was like, wow, this is crazy. Because normally all the tourist spots are really touristy, and you just pay a lot of money to look at the live picture of what you saw on the internet. But since this was like, I guess, free from the outside, I enjoyed it a lot more, and it was also like a lot of open space, so it wasn't like super crowded. And if people were to explore inside, that's where like all the tourists are.
Yeah.
What else is that? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, do you have to pay to go inside?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's just like it's kind of like a museum in a way, if you think about it that way. And then we visited like the Sistine Chapel and Vatican City, and that Sistine Chapel was like horrible. Not the place itself was horrible. Just the experience was horrible.
I was like, you're just like, oh, that historical thing is just horrible.
Yeah, no, that is like quite literally a tourist trap. It's because like if you imagine like a museum with its like long corridors and stuff, and then you imagine LA traffic, like how it is in the morning being stuck there.
Oh yeah.
Now imagine that as with pedestrians or like with tourists. I was trying to meet up my friend in there, and I was like stuck behind like 5 or 6 tourist group, and they all blocked the whole thing, and just like moseying along. I'm like, any minute now, I'll get into the next doorway, and I can't even, and I had to like weave between people or groups just to get past them. So it was hard for me to like stay and enjoy, and like. Because there was in that corridor there were like artwork hanging on the wall and like some of the stuff, which was really cool. But at the same time, you get like that. I'm sure you know, Tony, is just like the LA traffic anxiety where you're stuck in there and you like, I want to enjoy relax time, but I always have to keep moving forward because there's a big group and you're stuck in that group and you want to get out of the group.
You know what's funny? You just said, "Oh, I just want to enjoy, but I have to keep moving forward." That's also a summary of life. So,
No, I'm enjoying life. I'm not moving forward at all.
well, in Europe, yeah, but in the States, it's more like everything is just go, go, go. You know?
Oh yeah, that's true.
So yeah, everything for work and life and all that stuff is just go, go, go. So it's like in the States, not only are you experiencing traffic on the road, but you're experiencing traffic in your life. So yeah.
Actually, funny enough, you'll see it later. This week, next week.
Yeah,
next week.
Next Friday, I'm gonna fly out. So Friday, November 1st.
Yeah. So next week you'll experience it too, Tony. But I'll let you know that it's pretty much similar in Paris.
Oh, okay.
It's actually quite ridiculous. How when you said go go go, I know being in like other populated cities, I never had that feeling. I see it, but I never felt like the I guess like the people traffic or or like the pressure of like, oh, you gotta move it along. But Paris is like on another level where you see it and you're like, this is crazy. And I'll give you an example. So normally on my way to work, I would take the metro line and like go a few flights of stairs and then get out of the metro station. So normally sometimes when the doors open for the train or subway, people would run out to be the first one on the escalator to beat the traffic, the foot traffic. I mean, like run, like even like old frail ladies, they would scamper their way to get out of like being stuck in the pack.
Okay.
So it's actually like pretty weird because like in LA, like there's a lot of people, but nobody's like trying to run to the next spot or another all the time. I feel like.
I mean, if I take taxi or Uber, it should be fine, right?
Oh no, sorry. This is only within like the station.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you'll be fine, and this is only during like traffic hour or like rush hour. Yeah. Okay. So for the most part, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Okay. And it's only like certain like main or central station, and even if it is busy, it shouldn't really affect you. It's just enjoy yourself. Just some people are like they have that mentality that, oh no, I have to go. I have to be like the first one, but you don't really have to.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be vacation for us, so
yeah.
If people don't know, I guess I'm telling you guys now, but November 1st, I'm going to fly to Europe, and I'm going to be on honeymoon with my wife for about 2.5 weeks. So, but we will be still releasing episodes. Just FYI, it may not be, live episodes. So yeah. Yeah. So I'm actually looking forward to Disney Paris.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about it that you are looking forward to, the whole thing?
I mean, just so, I've only gone to Disneyland before Japan. Never been to Disney World. So, and then after seeing how crazy it is in Japan, I'm looking forward to seeing like how Disney Paris will be, like how they've made it, because it started off in Disneyland, right? So any kind of iteration they do in like past Disneyland, I would now imagine it's going to be better. So I'm pretty looking forward to seeing how that's going to go.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That's why I'll be joining you guys. So I'll see you too.
So I think it's gonna be Monday or Tuesday. I don't know if my wife told you yet. I don't know the final date.
Yeah. I think she said Monday or something. But Monday. I mean, we're flexible, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Are you planning to go to Disney World at some point?
At some point. It's funny because like so I have a pharmacy podcast and all that stuff, and then my friend I met through online space, like he has a popular pharmacy podcast as well, and his name is Richard, and he has a wife who is a Disney fanatic, and she runs her own Disney podcast. So, nice. But she's also a pharmacist. And so it's really funny. And they live like right next to Disney World, and they have like annual passes. And I'm like, wait a minute. They're like a mirror image of me and my wife, where we are both pharmacists, and I'm the
you
pharmacy.
live near Disneyland.
Yeah, so next to Disneyland, I'm the pharmacy podcaster. My wife's a Disney fanatic. I'm like, wait a minute, this is weird. So
You're me on the East Coast.
yeah. So it's funny because so we actually were interviewed on his podcast, on his wife's podcast, called The Walt Daily. So
Okay.
So they interviewed us about our experience at D23 because they've never been, and yeah, the episode's not released yet, but it will be in the next few weeks. But yeah, I mean, my point was we have a twin kind of like friend over there, so we eventually will have to visit them.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Before it gets too expensive.
What was that? Oh, before it's yeah.
Yeah, before it gets too expensive.
Yeah, but yeah, I always thought that that's like a weird kind of mirror image kind of thing. So
that's cool. Nice.
yeah, but yeah. So yeah,
Aside from that-
I'm looking forward to Paris, and then we're gonna go to like after Paris, we're gonna go to Vienna, Venice, and Barcelona.
Mhm.
So hopefully, oh yeah, and then I think my wife already told you, but we're actually gonna be having our honeymoon dinner at like one of the Michelin star restaurants. So that's gonna be fun.
Was it hard to book a reservation, or
You
how does
know,
that work?
it wasn't. A lot of the places there are some, that are booked out, but then because there's so many Michelin star restaurants over there, that it's not that hard to get a reservation.
Oh, really? Just a lot? Oh.
Yeah. So Michelin star, there's 3 ratings. There's 1 star, 2 star, 3 star.
Right.
The 3 star obviously is like you got to book months in advance.
Right.
We were actually able to get into a 2 star.
Oh, wow.
So then 2 star, there were 3 options that we had. 2 of them were booked, but then 1 of them was available. So yeah, I was pretty surprised. And then the booking, I just did it through what's it called? TripAdvisor.
What?
Yeah. So
I mean, if I never heard of TripAdvisor, I would think that's some shady website.
Oh yeah, so TripAdvisor, I guess, partnered up with a website called Fork, and Fork is kind of like Yelp and OpenTable mixed in one. They're just another alternative. They do reservations. So yeah, through Fork and TripAdvisor, we were able to book that dinner. So that's pretty cool. So we will see.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm glad that you guys made some time for that, because for that dinner, because I'm like, because your wife asked me like, you want to hang out with us? Like, I'm like, oh, well, how long? I was like, oh, for all these days. I'm like, don't you? In my head, I was like, don't you want to hang out with Tony and enjoy your honeymoon? I was like, oh, okay. Guess I'll join you. But then she mentioned later on about like the dinner, honeymoon dinner. I was like, good. I'm glad you guys have time together. Your honeymoon is just with me.
I mean, we have like 2.5 weeks, like we have.
No, I know, but I mean, like, come on, enjoy, spend some time. I know you guys have time with each other, but you guys rarely get any time off, like time off.
Yeah, that is true though. We really don't. So it's I don't know. It's cool because we have time off, but at the same time, it's like not too.
You're not used to it.
Yeah, because like we also. Well, we live together. I mean, I see. It's the whole thing about like married life. It's kind of like, oh, you live together, so you're like always spending time with each other, but you're not really spending time because it's not relaxation because it's adult life. Like it's.
Good thing she doesn't hear this.
But you know what I mean, right? Like all the chores, all the bills, all that stuff, right? It's not like real relaxation. The time that we have real relaxation is when we catch a movie, watch TV shows. Go out for dinner, which if you kind of account for all the time, it's not that much.
No.
Yeah. So it's nice to have that vacation. But then the last time we went to Cancun, right, it was only like, 5-6 days or so? But we were like, by the 3rd day, we're like, oh, we want to do something productive. Because it was just like eat and sleep and go to the pool and then too much relaxation.
Yeah, I mean, like for Cancun, it's like it's that is like the total relaxation. It's different from like a visiting like a different country or place sort of thing. Because then you could actually go to places and see things and do stuff and like that. So you'll be busy.
Oh, by the way, we should do an escape room.
Yeah. I think your wife told me that.
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I figured it's gonna happen.
There's let me show you this image. It's kind of funny. I just saw it this morning. Oh man, hold on. I misplaced it. It's basically a meme. And do I have it here? Did I save it somewhere? Here it is. So while you're reading it or looking at it, I'll tell the listeners. It's a meme of like two guys and two cars, right? The car salesman and then like a guy buying a car. And then one of the cars is labeled sightseeing, try local food, visiting museums. And then the guy says, this is brilliant. And then this car salesman points to the other car that says escape rooms and then says, but I like this. So yeah, that's me and my wife right there.
Does she enjoy escape rooms now? I know she liked it
does.
before.
Yeah, she enjoys it. She doesn't enjoy it when it's my co-owners and I, and if she's there, because we have our own language. I'm sure you know this already.
Oh yeah, I mean, because then you guys play a lot of escape rooms together, so you have that bond.
Yeah. So you know what's funny? Her maid of honor, right? They went on their honeymoon, and it also happens to be in Europe. And their wedding was 2 weeks before ours. Their honeymoon, they started also 2 weeks before ours. So it's funny because once we fly in, they're about to fly out. So we overlap one day.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and then her maid of honor is a husband. He's also the other guy that shares the same last name as me, but he also loves playing escape rooms. So on Saturday, we might try to like catch an escape room with them first.
Nice.
Yeah. So
where are they going to the same itinerary as well?
No, they have a different itinerary. So they flew into Paris and then they went several other places, but they fly back to Paris before they fly out to LA.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So we didn't think that we would like catch them because we thought they were gonna go straight from their last country back to LA.
Yeah.
But I guess there wasn't time in their itinerary to do that. So
yeah.
So yeah, or a flight in their itinerary. So yeah.
Did you say there's no time for the flight in the itinerary?
Yes, no time for flying. Yes. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, so are you okay to move on to we're going to skip the news, but you okay to move on to the topic?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Topic of the episode.
All right, so topic of the episode, again, is creepy stuff about games. So we have a list of 23 of them from thegamer.com, and I guess we're going to go through some of them and talk about them. So number 23. Isn't there a horror movie called 23?
I don't know.
That was like a Jim Carrey movie, that little horror movie. Number 23. Yeah, it's called The Number 23. It stars Jim Carrey, and it's a horror movie, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it 8%. Yeah, that's scary. 8%. Okay.
Scary for yeah.
Okay.
Directors.
I think, yeah, I actually wanted to watch 23, but there was like a parody of it. So, you know, like Mad TV or whatever, those like parody shows, they made a parody of it and then about like finding meaning in the number 23 everywhere. But I think Jim Carrey played the parody as well. So, because it's Jim Carrey, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine Jim Carrey as in a serious role.
Yeah.
I know he has been in serious roles, but it's always like some sort of a comedy-ish.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Robin Williams, though, he did do serious roles and he got known for it afterwards.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying like he can't. It's just based on like the movies I've seen him in, I haven't seen him in like a very serious role yet.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch number 23, but it has the really bad ratings, but yeah.
Is it user rating or is it
critics?
Critically. Okay. What about the
user on IMDb is 6.4 out of 10.
It's lower. Okay.
Yeah, it's also low.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway, moving back to video game stuff. So I'm going to read this one. Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask already contains some spooky undertones, but this supposedly cursed copy of the game takes things to a new level. The story goes that the game cartridge owned by a child named Ben, who perished at the hands of a lake, is still haunted by the boy. Things get increasingly strange if a player tries deleting their file, and an ominous message, "You shouldn't have done that," appears. Wait, what? That's creepy.
Yeah.
So when playing his save file, this kid's save file on this cartridge, like the player would see images, scary stuff, and glitchy environments, and Link will burst into flames before collapsing to the ground. And then the player reported that he was losing his mind as Ben looms over and stalks the gamer. First in the game and then in real life. Huh, what do you think?
That's really scary.
So, okay, let me go back. Okay, so is this like, okay, the urban legends So they could be true, they could not be true, right? We don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope that's not true.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't know like when you said like, oh, video games urban legend myth. I thought you meant like video games that involve urban legends. But I was like, oh, there's urban legends of real life stuff that revolves around a video game.
Yeah. No, I knew what I was doing.
I did it.
Okay, I'm going to move on to the next one. Okay, so Pokemon Creepy Black. So this tale involves a bootlegged version of Pokemon Red, which comes in a black cartridge. And in it, you fight ghostly Pokemon appropriately named Ghost, who freezes his opponent in fear and uses a curse to move on them. The game would eventually fast forward you into a much older version of yourself. And here you found yourself alone, surrounded by nothing but tombstones of vanquished foes and cursed trainers. The Pokemon you had cursed flash before you, and you soon run into your old Pokemon Ghost, who would finish you and delete your file for good by using the curse on the player. So this it sounds more like it's actually just in the game.
Yeah, so that one was cool.
Yeah, so this is more like trying to scare you within the game. So
Yeah, I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
The other one was like 23, but I'm like, man, I don't know if that's 23, what's number 1?
I know, right? Okay.
But that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one is the Madden curse. Oh, okay. Take the mysterious qualities of gaming myths and combine them with superstitions often found in sports. You end up with this significant urban legend, which seemingly is backed up with supporting evidence. Ooh, supporting evidence. So, much like Sports Illustrated curse, gamers and football pundits alike began to notice players. Oh, this is true. I remember this. Players which appear on the cover of a Madden title often end up in some sort of significant injury, misfortune, or poor performance on the field. So, see the devastating injuries of Garrison Hurst, Rob Gronkowski, and the abnormally poor performance of Dante Culpepper for just a few examples. Yeah, you heard about that, right?
No, actually I haven't.
Oh, really? Yeah, this is a pretty often like referenced legend, or not legend, but myth that kind of is true. It doesn't just stay with Madden. It also extends to UFC. Because they had the video games for UFC. I think one year, what's her name? Ronda Rousey was on the cover or something.
Yeah.
And then after that, she lost like her championship. Like she got beat up like crazy.
See, when we were talking about injury, she was like, she lost her what? I was like, oh, championship. That's not bad.
Oh yeah. And then the other guy, Connor something. Remember the Irish dude?
Yeah. The Irish dude. Yeah.
Yeah, he was also on a UFC title, and I like a cover for a UFC game. And then after that, he also lost. He got his championship stuff. He got beat up like pretty badly.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So. So go ahead.
Oh, so I was wondering if this extends more to just like sports game in general, like NBA, NHL, and soccer.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like it's like a bias though. It's like you see it happen. You kind of like, okay, you're more aware of that person when they're on the cover. So then I think when something happens to them, you're like, oh, because it's on the cover, you know?
Oh, yeah. That's true. Yeah, maybe that. I mean, but at the same time, like...
Some of those are significant.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. Some are significant, but like sports or athletes get injured all the time.
Yeah. I was going to say, I thought there was a similar one with a cereal box, like, curse. Have you heard of that one?
No.
I think, let me check. I think I heard of that one. No, maybe I'm just thinking of something else. Because I was thinking of the Wheaties box, and I think people that show up on there probably have some misfortune, but I'm looking at it, it's actually the reverse. So if they're on the Wheaties box, they're good.
Actually, the what?
It's reverse. So if they're on Wheaties box, then they're good. So
then they're more likely to succeed.
Yeah. So maybe these people, if they show up on the video games, then they should immediately show up on the cereal box.
See, now all this talk just reminds me of like, well, technically this all started with like milk cartons. When they show on the milk carton, they're missing.
Oh yeah. So I was just thinking of it trying to be meta. So what if the sports person shows up on the cereal box holding the game box of him on the game box?
Oh, so while eating, and in the game box. He's eating the
It's like imploding the universe.
Yeah. I wonder what happened.
Yeah.
I'm curious now.
All right. So next one is Pokemon Snap Haunting. So a creepypasta tale. So you know what creepypastas are, right? They're kind of urban legends.
Don't.
What?
I don't. What is that, Tony?
Oh, creepypastas are like urban legends and myths.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Oh.
So one creepypasta tale involves an old stored away cartridge of Pokemon Snap. And when the user dug up an old copy of the game, it was clear that this is no normal copy. The game was wrought with off-putting purple streaks and this disturbing image of Professor Oak sporting soulless black eyes. Many of the Pokemon looked creepy, and the player was coaxed into entering a volcano stage at which the sounds of screaming Pokemon could be heard. Oh my gosh. The player was tormented and defeated by a vengeful Electrode. Okay. Why Electrode?
I don't know.
The game showed disturbing images of the player himself submerged in lava. Okay, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was all good until that last sentence.
Yeah. Everything was like, okay, within the game, that's fine. And then, your image. So how did that happen?
So did N64 have some way to like take a picture of yourself? Because I know like Pokemon Snap was more of just a controller, wasn't it?
I don't remember. I never played Pokemon Snap, so I don't know if there was any peripheral for that.
Pokemon Snap N64.
Okay.
Oh, but anyways, carry on.
All right, next one is Creepy Corrupted Sonic Game. I've heard of this one. So, let's see. Our favorite charming blue hedgehog suddenly becomes more unsettling, sporting bloody, demonic black eyes and razor-sharp fangs. The crazed Sonic drags people into the game, along with a tormented Knuckle and Tails. What's neat about this urban legend is that there's a real playable executable file that can be experienced by anyone. What? Wait, what? Okay. The brief experience essentially... Oh, I've played this. Okay. The brief experience essentially plays like a glitchy, dark, twisted version of Sonic the Hedgehog. You play as Tails, Knuckles, and even Dr. Robotnik as you go through a handful of environments while a dark figure of Sonic creeps on you. Give it a try if you're feeling bold, as it's certainly good for jump scares. Yeah, so the story is over the top, but the game itself is just like a modded version of Sonic. I've played this before. It's just like, yeah, it's just, you're basically playing a Sonic game, but like you're kind of being stalked. Like Sonic is like Jason, you know? So, yeah.
Is it like just like a shadowy figure in the background sort of thing?
Yeah. And then like there's a lot of levels of fire and stuff. It's like you're going through hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember this one now. Huh. This was like years ago.
It's funny, like the first sentence that you talked about like how unsettling Sonic, unsettling looking Sonic. I was like,
You mean the
that's
movie?
just like the movie.
Yes.
So if they weren't going to reboot it or like remake it and kept what we saw in the beginning and then make a game out of that, it's pretty much just this.
Yeah, it's funny because then they could have changed that movie design into a horror movie. It's Demonic Sonic. Hey, that rhymes. Demonic Sonic. Now it reminds you of that. Was it Schoolhouse Rock? Like conjunction function. Demonic Sonic.
Subconsciously.
Yeah. Okay. Next one is, I don't know. This one is Polybius. The mind controlling game released by the government. So fuse a creepypasta with government conspiracy, and you got yourself a sufficiently eerie and imaginative tale that invokes plenty of paranoia. So the story goes that the government used hypnotic visuals and subliminal messages of this odd vector-based puzzle shooter to put kids and teens under trance, which they can gather data and even control aspects of their mind. What little evidence of Polybius cabinet even existing is sketchy. Still, there have been cases of games inducing seizures and migraines, so a mind-altering game isn't outside the realm of possibility. So what? So this is a game, they basically get kids and teens to be so then they can collect their data. You know what something exists like that today? It's called Facebook.
Oh. I was going to say internet, which is, Google does that.
Oh yeah, Google and Facebook. So this is not too creepy because it's just our real life. And I realized.
Wait, how old is this article actually?
It says 2018.
Oh, it's last year.
Yeah, not
so it's pretty recent. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So a dark, almost never played Mario 64 sequel. Everybody remembers the GameCube era Mario title as light and kid friendly, but legend has it there was early builds of a concept for Super Mario 64 that was darker. The story goes that remnants of this darker tinge of Mario ended up in Luigi's mansion. Okay, that's fair. One supposed player of the game talks about an early build containing some dark city environments and a sinister house that Mario enters only to find a version of Bowser whose appearance is larger and more menacing than ever. In this game demo, the beast defeats the frightened plumber in a rather strange manner. That's vague.
That's cool. Rather strange manner.
And there's no further details. That's it.
Yeah. This is like the least urban legend of them all.
Yeah, it's just, oh, you had a game that was darker? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I mean...
What? No, it says far darker.
Okay, far darker.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Well, I guess, like, let's see.
Let's see. I mean, I think what would be really, really scary for kids is that if they had the game Mario is missing, but when they find Mario, he's actually dead. So...
Would that be creepy?
I think that would be disturbing.
Oh, well. What if they don't know who Mario is to begin with?
I guess. So you're saying if you don't know them, it doesn't matter? Is that what you're trying to say?
You have less attachment to them, that's for sure.
Okay. But I think there was a recent game where Luigi was killed and turned into a ghost, and then people were all up in arms. And then,
oh, really?
Yeah, I can't remember. And then they had like this thing where people started doing like rest in peace tombstones for Luigi.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Number 16. A text-based game that reveals coordinates to a troubling sight. Okay. This tale doesn't rely on imagery or graphics for scale factor, but it's a text-based adventure. So basically, throughout the game, you move your character through a forest using simple commands like holding a shovel as well as a rope. During your journey, you follow the ominous Pale Luna, who frequently smiles wide when completing certain actions. The game ends after you use your shovel to dig at a certain location, at which point the game spits out a seemingly random series of numbers, though it's said that one curious player discovered them to be coordinates which led them to a real crime scene of a previously missing little girl.
Wow, that's creepy.
Oh my god, I just had chills reading that.
Yeah, that was crazy, man.
Oh my gosh, that is really scary. Okay.
I don't know how they rank this.
Yeah, right? Like, that's 16, and then 17 was the Mario game. It's like, what the hell? Okay, well, I think it's getting creepier. Okay, so the next one is an eerie and unexplained Morrowind mod. So Urban Legend brings extra layer of creepiness. It comes from an actual playable mod of Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. As you walk around and explore, you'll notice many NPCs have perished, lying motionless on the ground, and the few that remain hauntingly stare into space, informing you to watch the sky, which looks eerily similar to the real night sky. People who played the mod reported seeing brief glimpses of a shadowy figure lurking and following them just out of sight. But what's more unsettling is that some who have claimed to play for prolonged periods of time swear they've seen this figure lurking near them in real life.
Well, not playing that game anymore.
You played Morrowind?
Well, I thought about playing Elder Scroll. But not gonna do that anymore.
So I guess it is getting creepier now. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, number 14, the haunted NES Godzilla game. I just realized we're basically doing a recording of our reactions.
Yeah. So pretty much this is what our episode's gonna be about, our reaction.
Yeah. So Godzilla, Monster of Monsters for the NES comes from Haunting Tale. Let's see. The story is so long is that it's segmented into several chapters on Creepypasta. So they're gonna just like summarize it. So one stage in this haunted copy of Godzilla contains not but a fiery background and the word run. The story follows a kid named Zach who experienced a number of strange and scary glitches, starting with the game's first boss. This included pixelated, distorted red fragments, floating red eyes, erratically behaving AI, and the devilish creature that stalks Godzilla. Okay, this is back into the not creepy territory.
Yeah, I'm confused now.
Yeah, it's just back into the game. Like, I don't care if it's just a game.
Yeah.
It just could be like a mod.
Yeah.
Okay. Next thing is about Fallout 3. The atmosphere of Fallout 3 seems like a fitting place for eerie game legends. Apparently, you put an end to radio DJ 3 Dog. You can pick up a droning voice at certain locations. One who rattles off a series of seemingly random numbers, followed by what sounds like Morse code. Fans soon discovered many numbers to be dates, and according to legend, one player deciphered the Morse code and translated them into messages of theoretical futuristic events that corresponded to these dates. These included an Oscar prediction for Britney Spears in 2023, but far more eerie, it predicted the passing of Gary Coleman and the BP oil spill.
So I guess we'll find out in 4 years.
And then in 4 years, we're going to come back to this episode and be scared. Because Britney Spears winning an Oscar is scary.
Yeah, it's just not anywhere on the map right now.
That's why this will be even more scary if it's true.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of like, we call it, the Mayan calendar, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what people predicted about Y2K, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so about that, people were freaking out. Our Mayan calendar ends at year 2000, so we're all gonna die. But the Mayan calendar is basically one super long calendar, and the ending of the calendar in the year 2000 just means it's the end of what the Mayans define as 1 year. So
really?
It just repeats. It's like our calendar of 12 months. And then at 12 months, it repeats the year again. But there was a lot of misinterpretation. So some people thought it was the end of time. Some people thought it was just the end of the year. So that's why there was like the whole Y2K scare thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't Y2K though. Sorry. It was like 2012 or something like that.
Oh, right. Yeah, 2012.
Yeah. So, okay. So next thing is Minecraft. In a game featuring skeletons, exploding green monsters, and even Slender Man, it seems fitting you'll be a subject of creepy legends. Okay. Herobrine, hoax or in-game haunting. While creator Notch has denied his existence, many have claimed to see a lurking image of a ghost named Herobrine in the distance, wielding a pickaxe and staring blankly. What?
No, go ahead.
Oh, wielding a pickaxe and staring blankly at the player with glowing white eyes. He would then vanish as soon as the player looked at him at length. Okay, whatever.
I like how before we're like, oh, this is cool, and after we hear the other creepy ones, like, hey, you know what? You're not a par anymore.
Yeah. Oh, this next one could be true. So Atari's Berserk game provoked medical emergencies and altercations. So let's see. This is an Atari shooter. There were supposedly 3 morbid and violent incidents involving people playing this game. Only one can be really verified. Supposedly one person had a heart attack while playing for a prolonged period, though the culprit is probably a combination of a pre-existing condition, massive doses of caffeine, and sleep deprivation. So it's almost like saying, oh, you played Counter-Strike for 12 hours and you got a heart attack? Is it because of Counter-Strike or is it because you were just dumb?
It's kind of like the one episode of South Park playing WoW, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, they just put the association with video games. I'm pretty sure because at the time they were like, oh, video games cause all these issues, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, we're in top 10 now. Okay, you want to read this one? I'm tired of reading.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you want to take over.
Yeah.
All right, the demonic children of Ghostshire in World of Warcraft. So, players that hit World of Warcraft have repeatedly spotted groups of 6 NPC kids, appropriately referred to as the creepy children, standing around at various locations of the town Ghostshire and Elwyn. It's unsettling enough that these kids always pop up in different places and seem to be standing in the shape of a pentagram. Yet some have claimed that they have heard ominous noises like screams, growls, and crying while standing in the middle of this formation. Is this merely an Easter egg, a cheeky reference to Diablo franchise, or something more sinister? I don't know.
Why is it... Gosh. This is like whatever now.
Why is this top 10?
Okay, I'll read the next one.
Yeah, you don't. Let's just take a break.
Let's see. Yeah. Super Mario Galaxy 2, Shiverburn Galaxy. I'm just scanning through to read the important points. So you'll see 3 silhouette looming over a cliff staring down at you. Apparently one fan did some digging and the game's official files labels these things as Hell Valley Sky Trees, which sounds quite creepy for a Nintendo title. What's more bizarre is that Nintendo has made no comment regarding them, nor is their lore alluded elsewhere in the game. It's probably some guy who just put these artifacts in and it was like, oh, this will be fun, like an Easter egg. That's a creepy
Or maybe it's just there by accident. We got to take it out.
Huh.
and then it's like, oh, whoops.
Yeah.
And then people just over thought about it.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, we could patch it, but it's more fun like this. Let's just leave it. Okay, number 8, Bigfoot in GTA.
GTA. Yep.
People.
Go ahead.
Oh, so I was like, people see Bigfoot. Developer said there is no Bigfoot. That's pretty much it. How are these supposed to be in the top 10? I don't get it.
Maybe they're just like randomly numbered. Randomly placed. So it's not like by by some sort of ranking or anything like that.
Yeah, but
so it's just more like here's 23 of them.
But then they're decreasing the count.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, number 7, unexplained ghosts popping up in Halo. Let's see. Players and online have seen avatar manifestations popping up. Odd avatars reportedly to act erratically. No scoreboard or gamer tag, and can even attack a curious player if provoked. These strange appearances are likely modders. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Likely modders messing around or in-game glitches during a heated battle. It's quite eerie and gets the imagination churning. A gaming rendition of the movie Unfriended comes to mind. So I was thinking, like, just reading the part about odd avatars erratically, no scoreboard and gamer tag. I'm just thinking someone just like is playing and then lagged out.
Yeah, it's pretty much back in the 90s when we were playing Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
It just lag around. It's like, oh, we're not supposed to do that.
Yeah. But okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm reading on the next one, which I think is really lame. It's not creepy at all. The next one's about Diablo and the cow level.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I thought like there was going to be more to it, but no, it's pretty much just saying, Blizzard said there's no cow level, and there's a cow level. Or there's like a code saying there's no cow level.
Oh, it said in the original Diablo, there was a level that had cows wielding axes that cows seem to behave differently. And let's see.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's the original. Okay. Anyway,
this is
I know in Diablo 2 there is a cow level, and I've played it because that's how you level up fast, because the cows are super high level.
Yeah.
So, and it's a funny level because, like, you know, like when cows moo in like fear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all you hear when you're in that level.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, I guess technically it is an urban legend.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, urban legend turned into real.
Yeah. So it became more of like an Easter. And I guess in this game, or in game's term, it's more like an Easter egg.
Yeah. In Diablo 2, it was a straight up way to level up because you just like go there and start like leveling up. And then there's like the king cow too. He gives you the most level or most points, XP. So, okay. So next one, number 5 is Luigi's Mansion actually takes place in Luigi's Nightmare. That sounds cool. There are red flags throughout this title starring Mario's brother and sidekick that suggest something's not quite right. Let's see. This is an oddly spooky experience going on. Okay. This might be some sort of hallucination, nightmare, or even purgatory for Luigi. Oh, purgatory for Luigi. Huh.
Oh. Are we talking about like a dead Luigi?
Yeah, that's actually pretty creepy. Let's see. You've got the fact that Luigi doesn't have a shadow throughout for the game. You also got lapses in logic, such as a ringing phone inside a mansion that's clearly been zapped of any power source. There's even a scene in which a flash of lightning reveals an ominous hanging shadowy figure that resembles Luigi. Either that or the workers who made this game just didn't have any logic. Yeah. Okay, so this next one, number 4 for Pokemon, this one I've heard of, and it's legitly creepy. This one is about the original Pokemon Red and Blue. The song from Lavender Town apparently turned some kids into madness and caused some of them to have headaches. And I think this one doesn't say it here, but from another place I read, caused some of them to like jump off buildings.
Oh wow, so it's kind of like brainwashing-ish sort of thing.
Yeah, and then if you do listen to the Lavender Town music from the original game, it's a pretty creepy song. And I'm talking about music theory now, but there are certain intervals between notes that are meant to be creepy. Like there's one, I think it's the augmented fourth or something. And in the old days, in the time of like classical and Baroque music, everyone tried to avoid using that interval of notes because it was called the devil's interval, because it's such a harsh sounding, creepy sound. So if I remember correctly, I think the song from Lavender Town had parts of it like that were using that interval. And it just like it just made you feel unsettled.
Yeah, I just listened to it right now, and like the first couple notes itself already felt creepy.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this is it's funny because like when I first read this, I'm like, huh, that's interesting. And then when I listened to it, I'm like, oh, they're using the devil's interval, and that's only because I know my music theory, you know. So yeah. Anyway, sorry, I keep hearing buzzing, and that's because my pager's going off. But sorry guys, I have a pager. Still
Why?
use a pager for work.
Oh, they use pagers?
Yeah, at the hospital they still use pagers. Now that's scary. No, I'm joking. Okay, so next one is Squall perishes midway through Final Fantasy VIII. So apparently there's a legend that's probably plausible. Okay, so at the start of Disc 2, Squall awakes in the chamber, so completely healed from a devastating wound. So the theory goes that the remainder of the game is just, oh gosh, it's just some kind of post-mortem dream or hallucination. It certainly explained not only his lack of wounds, but the most surreal vibe the game takes. So basically, in the first disc at the end, he dies. And the second disc is you playing through like this dream or hallucination before his like journey into full death.
It's like purgatory.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, that's creepy. Okay. Even though that's within the game, that's pretty creepy. Okay, next one, number 2, is a dark forbidden crypt lurking underground in World of Warcraft. There's a section that was supposedly scrapped from the game because it was too dark, and a YouTuber actually implemented glitches to go fall into the ground into that location. Let's see, what else is in here? People reported seeing massive piles of bones deep within the crypts and even hanging bodies. This is number 2?
Yeah, that's so. In short, it's a glitch / Easter egg potentially, where a player will glitch through the floor ground and enter like a dungeon or like a crypt, where it's pretty much just what a creepy crypt would have, like skeletons and hanging bodies. So it's like a hidden level, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's cool.
Yeah. Okay. Number 1 is lame. So it says Portal, the AI guide, the GLaDOS robot, just looks like a person that's hung upside down, tied hands, and then mouth is taped shut. That's pretty much it. That's sort of
that's the best way to end the top 23.
Okay.
So I like how in the beginning you're like, so if this was 23 with like the Link, the Majora's Mask one.
Yeah.
I wonder what's one gonna be like. How creepy is that gonna get? And it's like, nope, not at all. It's like we're going backwards.
Yeah, because 23 was pretty creepy, especially the real life part. Like,
yeah.
Like
it being in real life got like tremendously creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think like normally these settles as like urban legends, sure, but since like the title was like urban legends are too creepy for words, I'm like, but
Yeah, too creepy for words. Yeah, I thought they would be more creepy. Like the Pokemon one, I would have said was the number 1 for me.
Which one? The driving them mad?
Yeah, because I can actually see that happening.
Really? I think for me the text-based game.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Actually,
that one's pretty up there.
Yeah, that is creepy.
Yeah, it's even creepier when like there's text where it's like a girl do a wide grin, and then suddenly I've just imagined it. I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah, I know. Was it Luna with the smiling widely or something like that?
Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah, it reminds me of those characters from what's it called? You know that character in Nightmare Before Christmas that has 2 faces? His head turns around.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, the smiling wide reminds me of that.
Oh, I'm imagining like you know the cat in Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the same type of smile.
Yeah. So so pretty much it's just like you see. All I imagine is just like suddenly in the darkness there's like a grin out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh god. Like I think this itself was really like okay, like the corners, okay, cool. That's kind of creepy. But then like the moment it kind of ties everything together, you're like, why did you reveal like that?
Yeah. Yeah, at the very end was like, oh, and then crime scene. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, uh-oh.
Not only crime scene, but of a little girl. Then the little girl is probably Luna. Like,
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was like the scariest for me, I would say. Everything else was kind of like cool to like
Yeah, it's nighttime over there for you, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's only 8.
Okay.
I'm not going to sleep tonight.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the final lap. All right. So, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all those stuff. We're on. We have friends.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
So our friend Steve, the mindfulbuilder.com, he does he builds stuff because he's the mindful builder and he builds stuff mindfully. And your friend, you want to talk about your friend?
Oh, yes. My friend Vince, Hypeman Vince, he's on everything, on social media except for Twitch.
Yes, he's a streamer.
Yeah.
Everything except Twitch.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Very, very strange.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, check him out.
Yes. All right. Hope you guys had fun and got scared from our No Time for Terrifying. Apparently, in that list of 23 items, at first it was terrifying, and at the end it was like No Time for Terrifying. Because it started to get not scary.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like, oh, we should just start from the bottom.
Yeah. Started from the bottom, now we're here. No, I'm joking.
Still at the bottom.
Okay. All right. No time for time. No, wait. No time for time travel or no time for terrifying. Signing off. Herdiger and War Speed. See ya.
Oh boy.
No time for terrifying.